Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here to work on my scrapbook room again. And I have 4 of those containers of stamps. So I knew last week when I started organizing them, I knew that I would have 4 weeks of doing this because each of these stamp containers take me about an hour each. So that first week when I worked on the stamp set, I worked on making the dividers and separating that container of stamp set into categories. And, I made up some categories and I'm going to keep making new ones and I'm going to work with that for a while. And from there, I'll decide, maybe I'll want to make more categories. Like right now, I have a category that's words. Well, maybe, and it's pretty big. So maybe once, I start working with this, or maybe once they're all organized, because as you can tell right now, I still have quite a few stamp sets that are not in these envelopes. So every week, what I'm doing, except that first week, because I was making those labels, now what I'm doing is when I'm taking one of those containers out, I put at least, I don't know, 10 to 15 stamp sets in these envelopes and label them. I usually put the name of the company and what the stamp set is for, because I can't see myself spending an entire hour just labeling stamps. Maybe at some point I'll have to, once all of these are organized. But for now, what I'm doing is as I'm working on this, I'm like, hey, there's like, 10 stamp sets that need to be organized like this. So I need to do those. Now, those plastic envelope, I guess I'm going to call them, or container, whatever I'm putting those stamps in. I actually got those years and years ago, probably 8 to 10 years ago from Simon Says Stamps. So I don't even know if they have them anymore. It used to be, I think it was maybe Avery L. That was the name of the company. And at one point, Simon Says Stamp made their own brand too. And it comes like 50 in a package. And they come in different sizes. There's smaller ones. There's like the medium-sized ones here. I think those are like 6 by 8 maybe. And then there's like really big ones to fit really big stamp sets. And I have probably 100, 150 of each. And then the cardstock that goes in that, at first I was cutting up my own cardstock. And then after a while I was like, man, I'm wasting so much paper. So they did anyway sell paper that fits in those containers really nicely. And I just bought a whole bunch and I still have them in my drawers. And I also bought some magnets for when I'm putting dies. Sometimes there's a stamp set that comes with the die set. Then I have magnets and I put the die right with the stamp set. Now, I knew this was going to happen. When I organized the stamp sets last week, they all fit in that one container, right? Because I only organized one container. So I knew that when I moved to 2 containers, I was going to have to move some stamp sets or categories over to the next tub and then kind of pack the stamp sets where they go. And then when I get to the third one, I'm going to have to overflow this in the third one. And eventually, I have 4 of them. I don't know if I'm going to need 5, but if I do, then I'll move them into 5. And then I'll be able to put a label on the front of it that says A to B or whatever, And then I'm going to start on the left side of my IKEA shelf, and A will start there, and then the next one over might start at D and then F, and then the rest of them will be in the 4th one. However that works out. Right now, I have quite a few stamp sets that are already in that system, if you will. And I still have quite a few stamp sets that need to be put in in that system. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do all stamp sets like this, or if some of them I'm just going to leave in their original packaging. I guess we'll find out when we get there. The next thing that I worked on this week was I found this iris container. And again, it's just filled with embellishments and papers from different collections. And what's neat about this week is as I was going through this, I was like, I really like this collection. It is, I think it's called Hello Love maybe, by, is it Crepe Paper or Echo Park? Whatever it was, I had a ton of pattern papers. I even had cardstock that was pulled for this collection and a whole bunch of embellishments. And it was time for me to put my page kits together for the month of November for Patreon. And I ended up not putting all this stuff away because I was like, I love these papers and I want to use them right away. So I've already made page kits using pretty much everything that was in this iris container. And I don't know, but I think the biggest purpose of me organizing right now, because my craft room is clean, so I'm organizing some iris containers and my drawers and everything. And the main reason for that is I want to be able to find stuff that has been lost in my scrap room for who knows how long, right? And be able to put it onto pages. And that's what I'm loving. Even last week on Thursday, I did some kits for my kit creation videos or my making page kits on YouTube. And then the very next day, I posted a layout of me using one of those kits, making a page. And I absolutely love that page. It's one of my favorite pages that I've done in a long time. It's just super cute. And it was embellishments that were probably 20 years old. So it felt really good to actually use embellishments that I hadn't seen in so long. And if I can be a little bit of an encouragement, I know when, I think it was back in May when I started, really focusing on my scrap room and cleaning it first. That's what I would suggest. Just take an hour and a half a week, not even a day, a week, and spend cleaning that specific area. Look at your room, divide it into sections, then devote about an hour and a half to each section until it's done. And then you can start organizing everything. And week by week, like every time I go in my room now, I'm loving my room even more because I feel like I can breathe in there. I can actually feel more creative. So one of the things I wanted to clean up was I have this drawer that I bought from Michael's, I believe. And, it's not really something that you really noticed that it was messy because they were all in a drawer. And, the drawers just sits there and it was nice and neat because everything was contained inside that drawer. Same thing with the drawers in my room, right? The drawers closed, it looks clean, but I knew it was messy. So it was amazing to take all those washi tapes out. And then I did the same thing that I did with my stickers, with my paper. I divided it by colors. So I started with black and brown and then grays and yellows. And then I went on to blues and then, red and green. And now when I'm going to look for a washi tape, it'll be so much easier for me to find what I want. Plus, this is sort of the container of the washi tapes that I really, really like. So I just love that now they're really organized and I'll be able to find the ones that I want. Now, I told you, I think it was last week or the week before, if I don't film myself actually journaling on some layouts, I don't seem to be doing it. So that'll be something that you'll see me doing every week, I think, because I need to get these layouts done. Now, before I started the recording, what I ended up doing was I looked at every layout, and then I was able to go on my phone, find the picture, and then on the back, I would put the date that it was taken, because I didn't want to take time to stamp everything then. So I just wrote on the back the date that the picture was taken, and then I started journaling. Another thing too is I've had several people say, would you mind sharing some of the, your layouts? So this way, as I'm journaling on some layouts, you get to see the layouts that I've done in the last few years on my Patreon, on some of my classes, especially Scrapathon, and, even here on YouTube. So on this particular day, I ended up journaling on 20 layouts. And don't forget, my goal is to get 10 done a week. So if I get 10 done a week, I'm happy. But I have to say, I kind of slacked off there for a few weeks. So I have a little bit of makeup to do. When I started this, I had a goal. 10 layouts a week. That's 40 a month. Times 12, that's 480 layouts that I want journaled this week and into my albums. Not journaled, they need to make it into an album in the correct year. The last time I think I said I was at 75, and it's not calendar year, so it's not as if I have only till the end of December. It's whenever I started this, it was like June or July. And I think I have 75 right now into albums, which is amazing. So if I did 30 this day, or no, it was 20 this day, 22 I think, then I'm almost at 100. And I just got to keep plugging away. And I don't journal and put them into albums the same day. I tend to work better if I just give myself a little task, okay, I needed to spend 20 minutes journaling this, and then I had other stuff I needed to do. So I did this, and then another day this week, maybe tomorrow, I'm going to end up putting those 20 pages away. Another thing that I try to do is when I find layouts that I need to journal on or just put the date on, I always try to find, if I pick a pile, I try to find layouts on there that have already been journaled on and have the date on. So then all they need is to be put in albums. So then I kind of put those on there too, because it's still a win. Whether it's 480 layouts that I literally journaled and put the date on, or that they're in an album, it's still a win. They're not, piled up somewhere. And I know if I did a layout and I would just do the journaling right away, it would save a lot of this. But a lot of times I'm not really sure what I want to say, and I want to almost kind of think about it a little bit more, or I'm moving on to the next thing that I need to do, or I have to rush off to hockey. We have limited time. So I don't mind that right now I'm doing this. Actually, I'm kind of enjoying it, because I'll tell you why. Every week, so as soon as I finished journaling on this, what I did was I went through another pile, and this time I grabbed 30 layouts. Does that mean I'm going to journal on 30 layouts right away, like when I sit down next time? Probably not. I'll probably do 15 or 20, but then I'll have 10 for the next time, and then I'll add to it. But if it happens that day I have, 30 minutes, I might journal on all 30. But I'm getting excited from seeing all those layouts. So it's also getting me excited to scrapbook, because it's giving me that reminder of why we're doing this. It's so fun to look at the pages later. But that's it. That's going to finish this session of Organize with me. So if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe. If you're enjoying these videos, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below. And I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.